figure it out. This guy's crazy work. All right, guys, we're live. Apparently, everyone wants me to go live even without the camera, so I might be fidgeting with it midstream. But Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully, everyone had a good holiday season. We've obviously got a lot to talk about since we took last week off. But before we jump into it, as always, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, really helps out the YouTube channel. And as always, Alex, his link is down in the description below to check out his channel. Alex, you want to say anything before we get going?
No, man, we're going to jump right into it. Let's talk about how we clearly led our viewers astray.
I mean, we should just show the frauds that we are. Is it now time to unveil the cloak?
Dude, I'm not kidding. Like, we screwed up. Like, you have to take responsibility for your actions when you screw. By the way, this is not clickbait.
We didn't manipulate the market enough, I think, is the problem, Alex. I think that's the real issue.
We were literally telling people, based on the supply that is out there and the numbers and everything, that Charizard UPCs were going to crater and you were going to have a chance to pick them up at MSRP or below. And dude, these things stabilized in the 140s, have rebounded to 150, and the supply is out. Like, the next wave has already come and gone, and it don't look like it's going down, dude.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy to kind of see how I think the lowest at one point we saw was $130. I think is the lowest I saw it get to. So it looked like you're like, oh, it's gonna get there, $10 away, and then all of a sudden, boom, back above 150. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there were people that were able to find it in person outside a TCG player for MSRP, but I mean, for me, I was more hoping that we would see MSRP and TCG player, which I feel like is a little different, you know?
Well, I mean, that's one thing. The other one is Phantasmal Flames. I truly thought that was going to get down to, and to be fair, we did both say 200 to 220 was likely where it was going to settle. I mean, I thought it was going to get even lower. I thought it was going to get at least 200. I know Rob, when we had RNG games on, he thought it was going under 200, and man, just a complete 180 there as well. I mean, those turned around or back up to like 240 a box. There were some cheaper cases on TCG or on eBay for a while there, and a lot of those have now sold and ran up. And so, hey, your camera is working, at least one that's not pointed at you.
I know. I just saw the freaking HDMI was unplugged in the back.
But
that's crazy.
Okay. But yeah, man, it's just like the thumbnail says it all. Like, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? I mean, it seems that everything everyone was worried about in December 2025 has all went out the window in the new year. I mean, I don't know if anyone's been watching crypto. Bitcoin's on a tear today. I think it's running up to 95,000 when it was sitting in the 80s for most of December. 80,000 a coin. Now it's like 95,000 a coin. And everything across the board is basically either stabilized or starting to rebound, and sales volumes actually increasing in January, which I don't know about you guys. The normal flow of things after the holidays is spending sort of slows down in January, and then it starts picking up the closer we get to like tax season. So this is kind of unprecedented right now for the market to be doing so well.
Dude, imagine that literally the issue was that the HDMI was just unplugged.
Are you going to refund Dustin for his super chat? Because it was for a new camera. GoFundMe.
Hey, we can still put the money towards a new camera. I'm just saying.
I mean, I just think you should probably refund it since. And look now, dude, Big Poppin just donated to the camera fund. What do you, dude? You need to like give back to your viewers.
What should I give them back?
Your super chats for a camera that he doesn't.
Do you think I should make a video? Do you think I should make content to give back to them? What should I do to give back to the viewers?
That's not going to happen.
That's so funny. I mean, I don't know.
What do you think?
I mean, here's my thing. I think that we obviously are seeing something rally, right? Like, the prices of things have stabilized. But I guess, is it because, all right, we're finally like at our low point and things are like gearing back up again for another high, and we just kind of had like a low set in? Or is this viewed as a quote unquote, like, how do I want to say this? I don't know if dead cat bounce is the right way, because I don't want to look at it that way, because it's completely different. We're in a market where you have supply, and supply plays such a huge factor compared to other things. So I just don't see that being appropriate. But I guess one thing to kind of compare it to is looking at the holiday season. How much do we kind of feel like that plays a factor? I don't think it plays any factors whatsoever because the first Charizard UPC was around the holiday season. I don't know how your sales have been, but I feel like at least for me, the holidays have been a little bit more um consumption. Like it feels like just so many people have been coming in the shop just for holiday gifts. And so it feels like the sales have definitely pumped up since October, November time, but I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
that's just anecdotal. I think
I
the
we were much slower in summer, and then again in like I guess I don't know, I guess around October or something it started to slow down. But
yeah.
dude, like for the last couple months, I mean, I'm not gonna say it's quite as good as when we were in like the initial start of the big boom back in like February, March, April last year. But dude, the streams have been just about as busy as ever. And so, yeah, I don't see anything slowing down. Like when you look at the sales volume in a lot of products, like ever since Black Friday, it picked up and it just hasn't really slowed down. And the products are disappearing. I mean, when all Pokemon does is print prismatic evolutions, eventually the other sets are going to start selling out as well and become scarce, right?
I mean, you kind of have to take everything one set at a time and one wave at a time, right? So for us, the big thing we were saying was, all right, we're going to test the strength of the market. Let's see how the Charizard UPC does. Let's see how Phantasma Wave 2 does. We saw that, okay, there is weakness in the market. And I still think there's an argument to say there is. Like, let's be real here. When was the last time we had an item drop from $300 all the way down to 130-ish? Like we make it seem like, oh, because it didn't hit 120 and it didn't hit MSRP, guess it's, bear market's back on or bull market's back on. But it's like realistically, it still dropped 60%. And so I think people should look at this and say, okay, there is obvious weakness in the market. You're starting to see cracks show. However, it is not as weak as we thought it was because people, as we saw, as it got closer to psychological thresholds. And that's one of the things I did say. I will say that about Phantasmal. The one thing I did say about the Phantasmal booster boxes was I said, hey, don't be surprised that once it gets closer to 200, depending upon what happens, you're either going to see it rebound from there or you're going to see it collapse from there because it's a huge psychological number. Because $200, I don't know what it is about $200 in booster boxes, but it's like a floor. Like if you look at Journey, if you look at any of the other boxes that have kind of been around that area, if they're trying to go above 200, they usually sit at 180, 190 for a bit. Or if they're trying to go below 200, they usually sit around 200, 210 for a bit. And so it's very much a psychological number. So we just saw obviously that play out in real time where it decided to use that as like a support metric for it staying above that price. So it shows you that there is still obviously strength within this market, but also at the same time, it's definitely, I would say, and I don't know if you'd agree with me or disagree with me on this, I definitely think it's still a weaker market now than it was, we'll say, a year ago or 8 months ago. Because realistically, if you look at Ascended Heroes, right, we've got pre-orders for it. It doesn't come out till February for the ETBs because those got delayed. Those are pre-selling for 130 right now. And this is like, this set is being hyped like crazy. And, who knows if people are going to say, this is better than Prismatic, whatever, who cares? But this set, like with how much drama has been going around the scarcity and it being a two-wave system, we were expecting, oh my God, like this could be $150, $200 ETB. It's at 130. Like Prismatic, single wave, it came out and it was on release day, it was hovering around 130-ish. I think at one point it got down to 120. So the fact that it's already on pre-sale right now at that price, and who knows, it could run up in the next month, but I think the fact that it's at 130 currently, it's going to be split into two waves, which as we saw with the mega sets, that usually plays a factor in the price, and we know it's being delayed, you would assume it would be significantly higher than where it's at. So I'm curious to see what your kind of take is on that, because I feel like that's at least telling in some regard.
Is it slower than like, yeah, the beginning of the massive run? Of course. But man, I just feel like that was like almost hysteria and like mania. And I think now, just like our title suggests, is the bull market the new normal? I truly think we're settling into like a new normal where, we're probably likely going to have another year of this, where it's not going to be like the crazy hysteria of like $400 booster boxes on pre-release and $300 ETBs or whatever. But I think things are just going to continue to be a good amount over MSRP on release and pre-release. I don't think the Pokemon can keep up. I mean, if Prismatic Evolutions is anything, it's an example of how you can throw as much product as you can at a set like that, and it just doesn't stop it. And with that already happening, Ascended Heroes coming, the print facility not going to be up and running till like 2027, 2028. I really don't know what they have to throw at this market anymore. The confidence level is so high. Look at like I guess like the geopolitical, the other like economic environment, right? So we have rates that are still set to come down, right? We've got basically there's a midterm election this year. I talked about this, but again, it's not political. It doesn't matter if a Democrat or Republican's in office. You have the Republicans in power. Even if that stays the same or the houses get flipped, nothing changes because it'll be gridlock. Markets like that. Markets like no change. They like everything to be very, and so it's like there's nothing that's going to change there this year. I mean, you're looking at the stock market's strong. Crypto's recovering. Everyone knows when crypto does well, a lot of times TCG and collectible markets follow it. I'm just looking around at everything. I don't see a single thing to worry about. I mean, do you?
I mean, here's what I'll say. I'll say this. I think two things can be true at once. I think, yes, the market feels weaker right now than it was obviously, 8 to, 12 months ago. But also at the same time, the bull market isn't over yet and there's still more time on it. I have no clue how long it's going to run, right?
It's crazy when you say
we have no clue. I mean, but I think that, how do I want to say this? I think, like you said, the euphoria. I mean, market psychology chart.
I think
every couple of weeks. I feel like we do this every couple of weeks.
Dude, I just feel like the word weak. I just feel like that's a little strong terminology. It's because it's like if the S&P is up 15%, right? That's strong. And every year that'd be strong. But if like 1 year it's up 25%, the next year it's back to 15, I wouldn't call that a weak market. You know what I'm saying? Like just because it was crazier last like February, March, April doesn't necessarily mean now is weak. It means it's not as crazy as them, but dude, I think it's still extremely strong, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said before, we are in a bull market. A bull market insinuates that it's strength, right? I understand that. I just don't think we're here right now anymore. I think we're past this point.
Yeah.
So it's like if we're past this point, I think we're somewhere here. Now, I don't have a time frame for you. I mean, this could be a year. This could be 2 years, right?
That's that, and I think that's what people miss. I think people look at this chart and they assign their own time frames to this, and that's what gets people in trouble. Dude, the complacency period, like that can last for years. Like you could have steady, like strong market price rises for years before things actually take a dip. And I think that's the scary part, is trying to time these things.
Yeah, I just don't think that I don't think we're here anymore. And I couldn't tell you how long complacency is going to be. I mean, that's kind of it. I think like, let me ask you this. Do you think we're in a complacency period?
I mean, obviously like the euphoric rise in the earlier last year was obviously the euphoria. So yeah, we've dropped off from that, right? We're no longer seeing that craze.
Yeah. And that's not Alex saying that the bear market's over or the bull market's over and a bear market's coming. That's just saying that we're probably at a point now where we're not going to see insane craziness like we did before. But who knows? I mean, it's hard to say because the next booster box set, it could be above $300. But realistically, my belief is that if Ascended Heroes right now is pre-selling for $130, unless we see a huge come up on it, I think that for me, a set that's being hyped up this much with how scarce it's going to be and it being a wave split, it makes me think that this is at least not as euphoric as what it would have been 6 months ago. Like if you took 6 months ago and you said, all right, we're going to have this set come out instead of the black and white set, right? And we're going to take the same exact circumstances, but it's for Ascended Heroes in August instead. I think that you could easily see it be a almost $200 ETB instead.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing, guys. It's not MSRP. It's not 20% above MSRP. It's still $130. It's still double MSRP. So let's not get it twisted. Just because it's not $200 in ETB or, you know, as a more expensive than Prismatic under the circumstances doesn't mean that, oh my God, this thing's going to flop. It's like, no, it's still double MSRP. There is still a lot of strength in this market, but definitely not nearly as much as 6 months ago, for sure, at least.
Yeah, and I think another thing is, you know, depending on how you look at things, are we looking at like new releases? I think looking at brand new releases could tell a different story of like, you know, the overall strength of the, you know, investing side of the market. Because, dude, I mean, I'm looking at XY and Sun and Moon boxes, like they're reaching back their all-time highs. Like Team Up in some of those boxes dipped quite low, and now they're all running back near where they were before.
What do you put a team? What's a Team Up box even go for?
I think it's back to 10K, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think it's back to 10K is a good average price. I mean, I know Cosmic Eclipse dropped down in like the low threes. Now it's back in the high threes. I mean, look at Sword and Shield. Like Evolving Skies is back to like 2350, 2400. We've got Fusion Strike running back in the nines, running up to 1,000 again. A few boxes left. We've got pretty much all those late Sword and Shield boxes recovering. I don't know if you've seen Scarlet Violet base set. Scarlet Violet base set is on a tear. It's back to like 240 a box. The cases are even higher. Big case premium. Paldea has recovered like over 15% in the past like 2-3 months. And so it's just everything's on an uptick again. And I think people are finally comfortable spending again after that 20-30% correction.
Well, obviously, as we've said many times before, at least for myself, I want to make a distinction here. The difference between what things that are in print and out of print do are obviously significantly different. So
Yeah.
I think those items could easily, obviously, have their run-ups while the market is struggling a little. Struggling is not the right word. It's weaker. I think still weaker is the correct term.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's weak, but weaker than what it was.
I think now this is me again. This is Alex shilling his positions, so take it with a grain of salt. But when you look at Prismatic Evolutions, look at the booster bundle. If you want to pull up the charts, dude, I can pull it up. I want to compare it to 151 because it's the similarities are kind of insane when you really break it down.
For the booster bundles?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get them both up and we'll pull it up because I think it's definitely worth looking into. When you look at what they were in like the same age, it's almost identical. And then seeing what 151 did this year, especially when it's been gotten reprints the whole time. So here, I'm sharing it on screen right now. All right, there it is, Eli. All right.
Okay. Yep. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds.
So when you guys look at 151 for the year, right? So when it was still had a whole year and 4 months left of print, right? It goes out in print in April. Prismatic Evolutions goes out of print next April. Okay. It was in the 60s. Well, Prismatic Evolutions right now, it's in the 60s. Okay. It ran up and now it's in the hundreds, right? If I had to guess where Prismatic Evolutions is going to be at this time next year, even with more reprints, restocks consistently coming, we know we know all the mantras. It's going to be printed for years. There's going to be infinite restocks, reprints, blah, blah, blah. 151 never made it back. It never once made it back to MSRP. It stayed in the 60s and went from there. Prismatic Evolutions has never made it, went really for a little bit, but it never really stayed under $60 too long. It seems like it's bottomed out.
Hold on one second, Alex. Hold on
Yeah.
one second. Here, let me remove this real quick.
Yeah. But it's very likely that Prismatic ends this time next year, January 2027, and it's likely going to be around $100 a booster bundle, in my opinion. I think we've likely seen the bottom. We have seen them throw every product in the world at it. And
here's a split screen. So here's the 151 and here's the Prismatic. So if you want to look at the charts on the yearly, here's where they are currently.
And they're both like the same. This is like the same age as 151 was last year. You can see how they stabilize around the same price. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is the floor. I mean, here's an even funnier way of looking at it. Here, let's do this. Let's go
Put it on the other
here.
side, yeah.
Yeah, and then let's do this. Oh wait, no. No, it's the other way. Hold on, sorry. Prismatic goes here, 51 goes here. Yeah, look. So you go this to this to this to this. That is kind of funny.
I would be
If you look at
shocked.
the price, if you do look at the price, look, it's around the 50s, around the 60s. It's around the 50s and the 60s. Well, I should say more to the low 60s.
It's like $5 off.
It's like, yeah, it's like I mean, not even $5 off. Like if we're talking, yeah, like
And then think about this.
off.
Now
in
I'm
the
gonna throw
lows.
one more wrench in the system, right? They've literally thrown out, I mean, more products I think than I've ever before on Prismatic. Like they have printed so many different collection boxes and so many reprints and restocks of every different item. Well, guess what? Ascended Heroes is here now. They are going to have to print that a ton. They got to get more Phantasmal. They got to get more Destin. I think the print runs in 2026 of Prismatic are going to greatly slow down, which is going to lead to that kind of price rise.
I guess here's
and by the way, it's still the most open set on, I would say, the majority of Rip and Chip streams. Even though it's a year old, it is still one of the most open sets. I know it's the most open set for me this year.
Oh, of course.
So you just can't. Eventually, the stuff runs out.
I mean, but here's the real question, though. Do we think Ascendant's going to do as good as Prismatic, especially considering it's got less product?
Well, I mean, obviously, when all the waves come, it's going to drop from where it's at. But long term, yeah, I mean, I think it's stock. I think it's stacked.
I mean, it's too early to say. Obviously, it's way too early to say. But if you just had to say, like, between the two right now, like, which one do you think will perform better if they were the same price?
I'm staying with Prismatic, dude.
Because I mean, here's the thing, right? If we go look right now, I mean, let's go look at booster boxes, or sorry, ETBs. If we go look at the ETB price for Prismatic Evolutions, right now it's sitting right at 127, lowest listed gold star seller. If we go look at Ascended Heroes.
By the way, let me put a point in right there, guys. What's funny is, if you guys don't understand, anyone that like doesn't own a card shop, most card shops, when they estimate values, they estimate it off of gold star sellers, or like my local card shops. A lot of them are like 10,000 plus sales. So you have to understand, like, what's that?
That's exactly what we do. We do gold star seller plus 10,000 sales at least.
So you got to realize, like, even though you can have some like brand new sellers or random people throw like low amounts in there, most everyone in the industry wide doesn't even really account for those. They look at what the majority of like the large scale sellers are selling for. That's like the more agreed upon market price. So, I mean, again, you can agree or disagree with that. That's just how business operates in the industry, like it or not.
I mean, if we're just going off of it, they're literally almost identical in price for ETB.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, like you've got obviously lowest listed gold star sellers 128, and you've got lowest listed gold star sellers 130. It's a $2 difference.
I'm buying Prismatic over Ascended right now.
Of course. Let's say Ascended goes to 100. How's that change things?
Prismatic barely ever broke $100. There were like very small instances.
Oh yeah. Very, very small. Yeah.
So the question is, how is Ascended really going to break 100? It's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, if we're saying that Ascended is starting close to where Prismatic's kind of stabilized point is, you have to think it's probably going to hit close to 100 at least. I mean, 100 round numbers, guys. It's psychological for people. So $100 is going to be another testing point for Ascendant in the same way Phantasmal was with 200. So I think 100.
So new, man.
What'd you say?
It's just so new.
I know.
It's like, I mean, here's the one thing though. It is towards the later part of the block, which people don't think about. So guys, when you talk about print runs, not every set is printed the same amount of time. So there's blocks. There's 6 set blocks, and this block started with Journey together. So you have Journey, Destined Rivals, Black and White, Mega, Phantasmal, and then this set is going to be the last set of that block. So it's actually going to have the shortest time in print out of this entire block. So there's something to think about. It's not a huge deal right now. It's still brand new, but just understand that like not every set has the same length of time it's in print.
How do we feel about the Umbreon? I mean, if you just look at the charts, it obviously went down to like 830-ish, rebounded, and then it dropped again because we got more prismatic supply. I mean, how are we feeling about it right now?
I think it's going to outperform the Moonbreon. I think it already is. And I think it's going to long term as well. It's so hard to pull. And I think I know the population's much harder on it. Like it's a much harder gem rate because the print quality is a lot worse than Sword and Shield was. And so even after all of the packs get open and everything gets graded, it's going to have far less 10s than the Umbreon VMAX, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which again, the PSA 10 price affects the raw price a lot.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Market's in an interesting stage right now. So I think here's the main takeaway so far is what I'll say. And you can tell me if you want to kind of alter what I'm about to say. I think that overall the market is still in a bull market, but we obviously are seeing some weakness in certain areas. So the bull market is not as strong as it was before. With that being said, the things that we want to pay attention to now are going to be seeing how Ascendant Heroes is going to perform. Is it going to stay above 100? Is it going to go below 100? And then also as well, taking into consideration that we've gotten, as far as I'm aware, all of the second wave product for both the Phantasmal ETB or the booster boxes, and that held up at 200. And we obviously saw the price dip to $10 above MSRP for the Charizard UPCs. And so that's showing us that there are floors and there are psychological numbers that play a factor. And so the next one is the Ascended Heroes $100 in ETB. So pay attention to that. I think that's what you're going to want to take a look at. But right now, at least in the meantime, for new product that is being pushed out, so not old product like Alex was saying, XY era, Sun and Moon era, that is obviously having its run-ups. It's out of print. It's not going to get any more stock. The new stuff, you're going to want to pay attention to this. I would say most importantly, this will be the next thing that we're going to watch to see if there's going to be any sort of change. But in the meantime, it definitely feels like complacency. How fair would you say that is? I don't know if you have anything you'd want to change.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the days of like booster boxes coming out of the gate, $300 plus or over. I think we're going to see a lot more of the old school like market where things start up high pre-release and then they kind of, deflate down closer to release. And after release, anything could happen, right? If a set really takes off, you could see price rises. That's happened in the past. I mean, we had back in Sword and Shield era, we had, sets pre-release at like 130 a box, drop down to like 195, and then immediately go back up to 120, 130 because they were hot sets, right? So like that can happen. But yeah, I think that the days of just like insanely high pre-release and at release prices are going to be, and again, that's anyone has their own definition of insanely high. Like people think $200 a box is insanely high. I think $200 boxes are probably going to be here to stay for at least the time being.
Why are people saying I'm talking about the SPC as a comp for the Megazard box? I think he joined late. I was like, the super premium collection. We haven't even talked about that yet.
No, that's much higher.
Yeah, I was like, we haven't even brought that up at all on stream. Yeah. I'm curious actually. Where is the super premium collection box?
They're up at like 250. Yeah.
Did we get any more of that? I don't think we have we?
I believe there was rumors of a Costco or a Sam's Club drop coming. I mean, maybe have happened. I don't know. I can't keep track at this point. I try to keep track of like all the different big box store drops, but there's so many like rumors, and there's so many that like come and go, and they weren't really effective, and it's hard. Like I think people who are like planning their investments based on like what they see is like coming for a drop, and like that tells them what to buy or sell or hold. I would just stop worrying about it because half the stuff you hear is just rumors and never comes to fruition anyway.
Do we know what like the trademark leaks are yet for the set after Ascended?
That's your side, dude. You know me. I wouldn't know any of that.
Let's see if anyone in the chat knows. I'd be interested to see. I'm gonna look on Poke Beach.
Everyone pretty much knows at this point. Alex knows nothing about the future sets.
Well, I am. I want to talk about it, but it's like, there's something I want to say, but I want to wait until I can confirm some things. Perfect Order is the next set. Is that the one that was trademarked? Also, I'm seeing the article that they made as well that was posted on the 31st about Millennium Print Group officially confirms the massive new print campus expanding capacity.
But doesn't it say 2028?
Let me see. It says it's confirmed that it is indeed the tenant of a massive 1.27 million square foot Spark manufacturing campus in North Carolina. In an email sent multiple reports, the campus will support Millennials Print Group continued growth. According to the developers, upgrades to the campus existing 400,000 square foot building will begin in early 2026. Construction of a new state-of-the-art 866,000 square foot advanced manufacturing will be completed by 2027, with the full-scale operation expected to commence in late 2028. So, just so that I'm understanding this, Millennium Print Group is the tenant of the massive 1.27 million. So, just so that I'm understanding this correctly, are they basically saying that currently Pokemon's using 400,000 square feet, then by 2027 it'll be 866,000 square feet, and then by 2028 it'll be 1.27 million? Is that what I'm understanding it?
Something like that. I mean, I'm understanding it as everything from Scarlet Violet Block 1 and 2 are both going to be out of print before that even makes a difference. So,
oh yeah, no, 100%. I'm just curious if I'm reading that.
My point is like, but I don't want to like, again, I'm trying to like turn a new leaf this year. I don't want to start trouble with anybody, but I just think it's very disingenuous for like these creators to be putting out things to their audience that basically tell them like, oh no, just wait. This print facility is coming. It's going to crush everything. It's like, guys, almost every set you see out right now is almost going to be out of print by that even. This is not going to have any effect. And this isn't someone trying to like, oh, Al's trying to protect his investments. No, I'm telling you the truth. Like, if you're waiting for this to like solve your problems, maybe it will for the new sets coming out now. But anything that's already out in like a Scarlet Violet 1 and 2, even a lot of 3 block, dude, it's not going to change it. It's just not.
I mean, yeah. How do I want to articulate this? This is obviously not going to come until 2027. So anything that's being pushed right now, it's not really going to matter. Like, it's just not going to matter. Well, this might matter. This might matter in the future with sets that are going to be pushed out in like 2 years, but this is so far down the line. Like,
put it this way, it matters for, what is it? Perfect Order. It'll matter for Perfect Order. I would not stock up heavy on Perfect Order at release. Like, that could be one of the sets that get some reprints later on. But so, like, Temporal Forces, they're saying. Yeah, like Temporal Forces isn't going to matter with this print facility. It doesn't mean they won't reprint it or something. It just matters like they're not going to have all this influx of printing that's going to matter for these early sets, guys.
I mean, I would even argue you won't have to start worrying until sets that are released a year from now. Because realistically, like, the facility isn't going to be live until 2027.
Right.
So there could be a real situation where it comes live and they're like, all right, well, Perfect Order, it's over a year old set, because we don't know when in 2027, right? It's over a year old set.
Sir Volfried says, like, and don't forget they print other TCGs. Yeah, I had a large scale Yu-Gi-Oh seller tell me that they actually got their Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, I guess Yu-Gi-Oh went to another print company to like print one of their sets because Millennium Print Group was so far behind. Like, guys, like, I hate talking about this because you're a bad guy no matter what. Like, yeah, you're not telling people what they want to hear, which is like, there's going to be tons of product come to market and everything's going to be cheap. And so you're immediately seen as like, oh, you're trying to pump the market. You're trying to, pump your heavy bags. We're just the ones being honest. And unfortunately, the truth is just not the popular thing people want to hear.
Here's the real question here. I mean, we're just talking, right? We're just talking. What do we think perfect order out the gate's going to be? I mean, you just obviously said 300. It's not happening. I agree with you, right? I'll eat crow if that's not the case. But Phantasmal obviously came out above 300, right? So we're basically saying this is going to be a new trend. Sets afterwards, not going to be 300. That's the case. I mean, what are we thinking here? Are we thinking like 280? Are we thinking 250? Like where are we settling here with this set?
Here's the thing. I don't like to talk about like whatever the first TCG player pre-order someone throws it on there for. I like to talk about like what maybe like
I'm
pre-orders.
talking release day. I'm talking release day.
Yeah, pre-orders the week before or like the release day week of. I'd be surprised if it wasn't at least 200. The reason is it's kind of like an optics thing. People look at the entire TCG market and there's not a single box under 200. And so it's almost getting to that point where people almost like they've almost accepted like that's the price. And I hate to be that person. And I know there's going to be a time when that changes. But again, I just don't think 2026 is going to be that time just because things are so strong and they still have such a print deficit.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I can be way off. This is just a guess. We're just having fun here. We're just talking. I think realistically, if we were to say this is a two-wave system, and we'll say it's the exact same print as Phantasmal, I mean, we don't know what's in the set, right, other than the characters. I think this could be a set that comes out at 250, depending upon the hype. And let's say it's a middle of the road hype, right? Let's not say it's super hypey or not hyped at all. This is a middle of the road set. It's a good set, but not, Ascended, not Team Rocket, whatever. I think you could see this come out at 250, and by wave 2, I think it could be at 180.
250 sounds high.
But that's my thing is like, if I'm wrong, cool. It's even lower. Like I'm totally fine by that. But I guess what I'm saying is by wave 2, I think we break below 200. That's what I'm more or less trying to get at. I think that's,
it wouldn't surprise me.
I think that's on the table. I think realistically by wave 2 of this set, depending upon how hype it is, I'm gonna say middle of the road. I think we're below 200. I think that is totally on the table because Phantasmal, it got close and it started at over 300. It started at like 310, 315. So
not only that,
a set that's going to start $50, $60 below that, $70 below that, dude.
Well, not only that, I think another like thing that like a metric we could use is packs are starting to actually fall, like loose packs. Like Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade, Journey Together. These are all packs that are now in the 5s. Right. I think Destin's down a bit. Like, so if loose packs start getting closer to the 5s, it's not going to be as much of a stretch for a newer set to be in that $180, $200 range.
What was the pack selection in the Charizard Ultra Premiums?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know Destin was in it. I think there was some Surging Spark, some Journey, and then I think it was Mega and Phantasmal. I think it was, if I had to guess, it's 4 Phantasmal, 4 Mega, 4 Destin, 4 Journey, and 2 Surging.
I was gonna say I'd be interested to see the correlation with that. Let's take a look.
I think I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just looking at the image. Yeah, it's a Surging, 2 Surging, 4 Journey, 4 Destined, 4 base, and then 4 Phantasmal. Yeah. For Phantasmal. Yeah. No, I think that there's definitely a factor being played in with the Charizard UPC and then other collection boxes that are being pushed right now. I think the mini tins and the Kangaskhan boxes are pushing the price of the loose packs down because, I mean, let's be real here. A lot of people are breaking down these products and they're selling them like by loose.
I mean, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, guys. Like, I buy from card shops or people that may not even own card shops as they have distribution. I mean, I buy large quantities of this kind of stuff to break down. And like they give deals because they don't want to have to spend time selling it to regular people, like, one box at a time, shipping everything individually, paying for all that shipping, possibly getting something lost or some kind of scam. Someone, so it's like, they'll sell to me at a good discount. I'll be able to pick up, 100 collection boxes or 100, tin cases, whatever it is, use them for streams. And everyone's happy, right? They're happy. They get to move a bunch of merchandise. I get a little, I get a deal under market price. I get to keep my streams running. And it's like, it's a kind of a well-oiled machine. And so I think a good portion of all those ancillary products get broken down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we'll be watching Ascended, and I think after that we'll be definitely watching Perfect Order. I mean, you're watching every set, right? And it gets more and more interesting set by set. But I will say it's getting exciting, in my opinion. I think it's getting exciting because you're in a real situation right now where you can hedge against the market with older stuff. And then while that stuff is being hedged, you then, I mean, I'm not suggesting you do this, but like if you're someone that, let's say, over the past 6 months is like, all right, I think these sets are going to come out a little bit lower. They're not going to have their run-ups like we saw with Destined Rivals. I'm going to start hedging with some of this older stuff. You're watching that run up while this other product for new set releases is slowly making higher or lower highs and lower lows on the overall price floors and price highs. You're saying to yourself, oh man, if it keeps continuing this trend in the next 6 months to a year, I'm going to be able to cash out on some of my older investments that have just continued to run up. And then I'm going to be able to divest all of that into booster boxes that are going to be at a lower price. I mean, realistically, like,
yeah. I mean, dude, when it comes to like the rip and ship, like, side of this hobby, I mean, we've been talking about this forever, but like, I just truly don't think, like, as an outsider looking in, people really understand like the numbers behind it. Like, dude, when you go back and like look at Kate, someone that's like, been investing for a while, maybe they started investing. When you look at like 18 cases of product, right? That is a pretty good size freaking position. I know for me, no more than a couple years ago, 18 cases of booster boxes, that's a solid position, right? Dude, if I go through 4,000 packs a week, that's 18.5 cases. 1 week being opened.
Yeah.
1 week. That's just me. And so like, I just think no one really is like doing the numbers when they think about this. Those are booster box cases, dude. When you crack a collection box case, the collection boxes may have like 4 to 10 packs in them. Dude, the cases have six boxes. You're talking like 24 to 60 packs. Do you know how many cases of collection boxes or tins or mini tins have to be ripped to supply just one person's stream with 1 week of packs? It's astronomical, dude. And like, just doing this side of things, it's completely changed my thinking on the long-term justification for investing in this stuff. Because one of the biggest, discussions always is, Alex, everyone's doing this. There's going to be so much of this stuff in the future. Who's going to buy it? Dude, there's not going to be as much of this stuff as you guys think, because every step of the way, it's getting sold and ripped.
It gets eaten up, man. And if it can be broken down, I mean, that's the most important thing people seem to not understand. I mean, if you look at why the sports era had a junk wax era, it was because it's, how do I want to articulate this? When it comes to certain TCGs, the ones that are successful are the ones that have the most flexibility. They have a playable game. They have products that you can break down and you can sell off the contents of those broken down product. The more linear you become, the more difficult it is for things to move. And so when you've got items like Charizard Ultra Premiums, the OG Sword and Shield ones, that go from 300 down to brick pricing at 65, 70, the reason why I can shoot back up to over 400 is because people say to themselves, hey, look, I can sell off the promos. I can grade the promos. I can sell off the packs after I break them open. You have so much more flexibility with stuff like that than you would in other TCGs or other just, card spaces in general, because technically sports is not a TCG, right? And that's the thing people need to understand, is that there's so many ways to skin these products that allow us to make money off of them and then once again open them more specifically, which then just escalates the scarcity continuation.
It's funny you just have to mention those. I just picked up more of those in a collection buy.
Yeah.
With Charizard UPCs.
No, dude, it's crazy, man.
It is, man. Like I just, again, it's completely warped my vision of things. So like, you know, I look at like a good size position for me for a set, right? I'll pick up like 10 cases. And then I start doing the math. I'm like, well, there's 216 packs per case, 10 cases. It's like 2,160 packs. And I'm just like, oof, that's not going to get me very far. You know, it's a really messed up mindset when you start breaking it down, dude.
I mean, it's kind of the mindset you got to have.
Yeah.
But all right, let's start. You want to start taking some questions?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. We're gonna try and keep it a little bit shorter today. I know we started late, but we're still already 45 minutes in, and I'm not feeling the greatest, if I'm being honest. But please make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Really helps. I think most people know how to have their questions asked. Type in bold question in the chat. First off, let's give a couple of thank yous to the super chats. Eli, new camera, go fund money, thoughts and prayers. Also contributing the camera fund. Thank you guys both, Parker and Big Papa Necro. You know,
meanwhile, he's sitting over there with like a $700 camera or something stupid.
Oh, it's not that expensive. So brand new, it's $1,000, but I went and bought it for like $500 on Facebook Marketplace, like secondhand. So I mean, it works
trash.
good. That's
trash.
Yeah, it works good. It's not a bad camera. The reason why it wasn't working was because I didn't have the freaking HDMI plugged in. Like the HDMI was loose in the back. So I mean, it's just,
he's the tech expert of the stream.
And I'm the tech expert. It's always stuff unplugged. That's the first thing I need to check. Well, so I did get a new computer, and so that's why. So because I've had my computer for 6 years now, and it was like due for an upgrade, and they just got a micro center in the Phoenix area, which I don't know if you know about micro centers.
Yeah, we have one.
You have one? Yeah. So, and I'm so upset because I didn't know how like sick they were. And so I missed on a lot of the like opening day sales, but I was able to get in on still some of the items of their like micro center brands. I can't remember what the name of it was.
Were they selling Magic the Gathering cards there?
Yeah, they were.
Because Rudy always talks about it in his video. I guess they started selling Magic.
Yeah, no, they got Magic there.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, anyway, so I was like, all right, well, I might as well get a PC. I might as well upgrade. This is what I basically said. I said, if I'm going to upgrade for PC, I'm probably going to do it now while their prices are relatively cheaper than the rest of the market, considering everything's going up. And I'm not even kidding you. The day after I went and bought the new PC, the news broke of the NVIDIA graphics cards for the 2090 shooting up to 5,000 next year is what they're talking about having happen from 2,000. And I was like, dude, if this is true, like, holy crap. Because I don't know if you've been paying attention to RAM prices, dude. It's insane right now.
Dude, you're speaking like a foreign language.
Oh, am I really?
I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Yeah. So basically, I'll put it into like layman's terms. Because of AI, there is a memory shortage right now. And so because of that, RAM has gone up and skyrocketed in price. You're starting to see GPUs shoot up in price, which are just graphics cards to like run the computers, right? You need it. Like prices of SSD cards, so like other memory storage solutions, right? It's like they're just going up like crazy. So like I bought my 16 gigs of RAM when I built my PC back in 2020 for like $70, and now for 16 gigs, I mean $200+. So you're paying triple right now for RAM.
I got like 32 gigs.
It's crazy. I mean, 32 gigs, dude. I saw selling on some places for $500 for 32 gigs. Like that's crazy. So it's insane to see how much it's going for. So yeah, I was like, you know what? My PC is 6 years old. I never buy stuff for myself ever. I'll treat myself this time around, and I'll get myself an upgrade on the PC side, especially because if prices keep going the way they are, I might as well get in now before things continue to skyrocket even further, because everyone says it can't go higher, and then it does. So I don't know. That's what I did, especially because I could get Micro Center. I was like, why not? But yeah, so long story short, the reason why I'm saying all this is because I had to switch all of my stuff around. And so I had to upgrade the drivers. And so that was messing with stuff. And as I was updating the drivers, the cord got unplugged. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, I actually got 64 gigs. My bad.
Oh, you have 64 gigs for your.
So here, I'll share. This is
Yeah. Share your specs.
I bought it from Best Buy.
Share your specs, nerd. When did you buy it?
Here, it was earlier this year.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like an i9, 64.
i9. Chat. He's an Intel boy.
5070 RTX graphics.
Hey, 5070 is good.
Dude, for me, I just needed something that's gonna freaking keep up with the streams.
I mean, GeForce is solid.
Yeah, so that's what I'm using now.
Yeah, no, RTX 5070 is nice. I'm not a big fan of it's DDR5. That's what you want. Yeah, you got. I mean, what's that? I assume that's 2 teras of SSD is what I assume that's. Yeah,
you would know. You would know.
Yeah, 2 terabytes SSD. Yeah. No, I think that's solid. I mean, that's a great build. That'll last you a while. I mean, realistically,
it was a pre-build. Like it came. I didn't have to like try to build it myself. Like, you know, like for me, it made sense. Like for you that knows what you're doing, I'm sure you probably got a lot better for your money at a Micro Center.
I mean, I don't know what you bought that for, but I mean, it's a good rig. I mean, the only thing realistically you would ever want to change is at some point you'd probably want to switch it to a 5070 Ti, just because the Super is going to give you more output for it. And those are a little bit more budget than the 5080s and the 5090s.
Ti, what you know about that?
what you know about that? But no, I mean, it's a good build. It'll last you. I mean, here's the thing, right? It's not like you're playing hardcore video games. Maybe you aren't, but like for everyday stuff, that thing's gonna last you a while.
That's really all I was wanting.
You're chilling. But yeah, man, PC prices, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how things are going. Just everything's getting more expensive always.
Everything.
All right, let's take some supers again. Abraham, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for donating. Better buy Paldean Fates bundles at 900 or Prismatic ETBs at 95 to 100. Oh my gosh.
Well, first of all, I want to say something first. Abraham, can you let me know in the chat where exactly can you find Paldean displays at 900?
Yeah.
They are 1,099 on TCG Player. I think there's one left and it goes to 1,150. And I think they're all ending at auction, even on eBay, in the thousands now. If you know how to get them at 900 still, let me know. What?
It's entirely possible it's a private sale.
Yeah, I mean, let me know, dude, if you're not taking them all. I just picked up a bunch from my local LGS and made a deal with them. But if you got a real source to get them at that price, I'd be interested. If you got any, want to throw my way, because they're way more expensive than that.
I mean, yeah,
900. Yes, that is a buy.
I'm like, I feel like for me the answer is Prismatic, right?
Oh, I'll take Paldean Fates because it's going out of print here in 4 months.
Oh, that's fair. No, I agree. I think you're right. That's the right play. He said local private sale.
I mean, dude, I would lock those in because
all of it, dude. By all
of
it.
I would lock those in because I doubt those are going to be. They're going to honor that for long because they're going to see the market's moved because it's moved pretty quickly lately. So I would try to lock that in, dude, for real.
Buy all of it, seriously. What's the best profit margin? First and foremost, Chief Pokemon, thank you so much for the $2. What's the best profit margin for Rip and Ship?
The best profit margin? Dude, I don't know. Everyone's all
100%, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
highest you can go.
Dude, I try to list like as close to market as I can of like what they're selling for on market, and I just try to get the best deal under market that I can get for packs. Put it this way, every pack can have a different margin, right? Like if you buy a pack for, let's say $5 and sell it for $6, that's technically a 20% margin, right? But if you buy like a $35 pack and sell it for, $38.50, it's only a 10% margin, but you made $3.50 a pack. And so, I mean, you just have to figure out if you're going for margin or you going for dollars per pack. That's really a you choice. I don't think there's like an exact margin to look for. I mean, I'd rather sell a bunch of $50, $100 packs at like a 5-10% margin than a bunch of like cheap packs for 20%, because you have to do less work, open less, and you're still making as much or more money. So it just depends on what route you want to go.
All right. Next question. Alex, can you talk about how the grinding of selling and flipping barely keeps up with buying and hold gains? Is it even worth someone's time to flip versus just buy the booster box winners and hold?
Dude, I have talked about this for years, and all of my, and you can even give me your thoughts, but like so many of my friends that like, are primarily more like business owners or flippers, they've fought me like tooth and nail every year I've been on YouTube about this. Dude, I think investing is still the number one way to build wealth. And the problem is you have to do some sort of flipping in the beginning, or you have to have a good income, because to build up the amount of investment to make it outperform, it takes time. But dude, like this last year, if you have $500,000 invested in Pokemon and it goes up 100%, there is not a lot of people clearing $500,000. Like if you're doing 2 million in sales and you have a 25% profit margin after everything's said and done, you made 500 grand. So your investments made you as much as you made working your entire year doing 2 million in sales. So I'm always on the side of letting your money work for you, and foregoing the pleasure in the beginning and keep building up and building up, because the compounding effects when you have a large amount and markets go up 50, 100%, it's very hard to, at a certain point, it's very hard to out earn your investing in this hobby.
I mean, a lot of it, I feel like, to Alex's point, I think you kind of have to do a little bit of both depending upon your income. Because for me, like setting stuff off to the side is very important from an investment perspective. But also, I know that in order for me to continuously grow my investments, I need to be constantly investing more capital past the point of just return. And so doing both just makes it go hyper exponential, right? So if I can have a booster box that's just going up in price while I'm also putting more money into my investments, it's making it so that the pool is growing off my initial investment and then the value is growing off my return. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um and that's just, I mean, that's just kind of it. And what's also great about exponential growth is entry points look so much sexier when moves are larger but smaller percentage. So let me explain what I mean by that. So like Lost Origin, for example, right? If you got in at Lost Origin, we'll say you got in at like $600. If it were to go to 1200 tomorrow, you would have doubled your money. Fantastic, right? And as we talk about a lot on this channel, moves as they continuously grow exponentially, it, instead of having 3x gains, it goes to 1x gains and so on and so forth as the prices keep going up. I mean, Evolving Skies is a perfect example of that. So if you're someone that, for example, got into like Lost Origin, like $100 or sub $100, and you're 6x up, while people that are getting late to the party are like, oh, I just watched my investment go from 600 to 1200. If you were someone that was sitting there from 100, sure, the 100% gain just happened from where the current market price is, but from where your entry point is, you just made so much more money if you're just talking about your initial investment. And so it makes it so that the exponential moves from your earlier entry point are so much greater.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where it's like the amount of times I've said to myself when I had Lost Origin, like, oh man, I could really use some money to tap into right now. Let me sell the box. And then it makes a move. And then I was like, I'll wait. And then it makes another move. I'll wait. And so it's like watching it go from 2 to 4 to 8. And now obviously it's retraced a bit. I don't know where it's at now. But it's like, dude, when the next move happens, like it's probably gonna push 1,000. And
Yeah.
it's like, why sell at that point?
I had a consult call with a guy like back in September, October time. And one of the things that we were talking about was like when you start investing and like, he felt like he could do so much better with his business. And it's the truth, right? You can definitely do better flipping. But one of the things, like I was going through and like kind of like consulting him on what he had, listed and everything. And one of the things I found is some of the items I was asking him about had been sitting there for 6 months, 9 months. He's like, well, this is what I can get for it. I'm just like, yeah, but you haven't got it for it. And so what you have to look at, if you're going to go the flipping route and you're going to like constant churn and burning, you have to make sure you're churning and burning. You can't get like, almost like when you're playing Scrabble and you have like, the Z, the Q, you're trying to wait for this perfect word that you're going to get all these points on. But in reality, the other people are going around getting these 10, 20 point words the whole time. And by the time you finally lay your word down, you're already behind. The same thing's true in this thing. If you're not going to be investing, if you're actual having inventory, you want to flip and flip, then flip it, churn and burn it. Stop trying to get absolute top dollar. It's better to make a profit, churn and burning the money, something else, make a profit on that, and do that as many times as you possibly can a year. You want to turn your inventory over as many times as you possibly can. You can't be quasi like investing in your inventory because it's not going to perform as well as an actual investment would. And so I would say churn and burn as long as you can until you literally have so much inventory and so much money that like it makes more sense to put things away than invest in more inventory. It's going to be sitting. That's the best way to do it because, if you got this inventory that's sitting there, like you have $100,000 in inventory and 25% of it's sitting there for 6 months a year, you're investing in that stuff. You just don't realize it. So you're no longer churning and burning and flipping like you should be. What you should be is consistently moving that stuff, even at small margins, just to continue to, build that snowball. And so I'm a fan of both. I just think long-term, unless you literally are going to work till you drop, you're going to want to have money investments put away. So your money makes money for you. So you don't have to always work for your money.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Just going back to, and we're talking Pokemon here. If we were talking about traditional investments and other investments, it's a no-brainer that if you look at the return of the S&P compared to traders, I mean, S&P is just, it's a workhorse.
Yeah. And then again, like this is if you're in the Pokemon business, like, dude, if you have outside income, then there's like another thing you have to think about. And this is what few people think about because they just write it off as like, oh, I like to do it. If you like to do it, no harm, no foul. But a lot of people end up sinking so much time into this business. And when it's like a side business or whatever, and they don't even think about their hourly rate. And I think it's a big thing. It's like, well, how much do you make at your job? Like, what if you just picked up some extra hours or you could work overtime at your job? Like, are you really making more than that? Flipping all these like singles and doing all this work or, a bulk or whatever it is. It's like, would you be better off just like working more at your job and putting that money into investing? Or would you be better off using all that time to work in the business? And I think that's what people need to track a lot more because yeah, you're technically making money when you're doing a lot of that stuff, but is it more than what your time could be spent doing somewhere else?
Yeah. Our Stellar Crown PCETBs at 120 and under a buy when normal ETBs are 90.
Man, that does sound like a good buy, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, it feels great right now.
$30. Dude, that sounds like a good deal. I don't know how good Stellar Crown is going to do or PCTBs and Stellar Crown are going to do, but if you're looking to buy Stellar Crown, you're thinking regular ETBs or PC. I'm taking PC at 120 if I'm going to buy one or the other.
What's the promo?
Oh, good question. Oh, it doesn't show it. Dang it. Anyone know in the chat? Get there before we do.
They'll beat us to it. It's the Noctowl.
Oh, it's not a bad promo. I definitely like it. Like the PC at 120 better than the regular at 90.
If you could choose a Pokemon that best matches your personality, what would it be?
Oh,
dude, man. I know Alex's.
What's that?
God, where to begin, man?
What? I got one, dude. Mabostiff.
Mabostiff? Oh my gosh.
Dude, he just wants to lay around, relax, and get fed food, dude. Like, that's the life.
So not Snorlax?
Nah, because I don't want to be sleeping.
You don't want to be sleeping?
No, I want to be up enjoying things, just relaxing and just eating food all day, man. That's just a great life.
Golly, a Pokemon that matches my lifestyle? Dude, I'm a dust no. No, I'm just kidding. It's horrible. What would I'm trying not to think too hard into this, but I'm also just trying to think of a Pokemon that's just kind of mellow. Like, I don't know, man. I'm a Mabostiff. What's one that likes to play sports?
Ooh, like a
I mean, the only thing I can think of is
Hitmonchan.
like boxing Pokemon, right? I like doing sports. Is there one that likes that?
Like a Hitmontop.
Oh, hey, that's not a bad one. There you go. I'll take that one.
Alex is the fairy from Zelda.
I mean, dude, I was thinking of all the different ones to say that were inappropriate for stream, and then I was like,
Alex
oh,
is Goldango. Dude, I wouldn't mind being Goldango. He's cool.
you're cheese man.
Am I the only person that likes Goldango?
I think it looks suspect. It looks like the literal cheese string from the packaging wrap for the cheese sticks.
And who doesn't like cheese sticks?
It's true. I love cheese sticks. I eat probably one a day. Why do you think the market always has periods when boxes are severely under MSRP and times when boxes are way over MSRP? Why can't there be a sustained period? Do you want me to answer this?
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite questions to answer because I say it all the time.
Take it away.
Because of scalpers. It's because of scalpers. That's literally the answer why. Because the thing is scalpers get in the market at a price point in which they can make money. And the price point in which they're entering at is MSRP, because that is when you can buy product if you don't have distribution at. And so when prices are below MSRP, scalpers can't make money. And so because of that, the market price is going to be much more based on the demand without scalpers. And it's going to have a product supply that is not going to be increasingly ate up and then constantly resold to the next reseller, we'll say. But once you get to a point where there's profitability for specific items, all of a sudden, the floor for a lot of scalpers or resellers becomes MSRP. And so you start to have places like big box retailers that don't have product on shelves because it's being all bought up at MSRP because they can make money buying it at that price. And so it's kind of this weird equilibrium where either it's at above MSRP and it won't go below MSRP because that's the point of entry for a lot of scalpers, or it goes below MSRP because they can't make money on the product, and then it just kind of tanks because a lot of people are not artificially raising the prices up in the market because there's no margin for them to make. And so there's just no kind of middle ground for that. I mean, that's my personal belief. That's literally what makes the most sense to me. If you look at obviously big box retailers, if it's above MSRP, you'll never see it in shelves. If it's below MSRP market wise, it'll be tons of product on shelves available.
Not only that,
I mean, literally, that's how it's always worked.
Yeah, and then like to add to that, like the other reason is once the reason you see it really ramped up is once booster boxes start to drop a little bit, the store owners, they dump all the other products before they dump booster boxes. And so what happens is, as a store owner, you're taking all these different TCGs, you're taking all the ancillary products, and the first thing you're going to do is dump those products and recoup your funds and pay your credit card bills, right? And so that's why the first thing to hit MSRP is always going to be the collection boxes, the tins, the mini tins, all the tech stickers, the sleeves, because card stores are going to dump that stuff cheap just to get it off their books, break even, make money, and then they're going to try to do well in the booster boxes, maybe put some away, whatever it may be. And so you're always going to see the stuff in stores, like big box stores, sit first before booster boxes get there because of that reason.
Yeah, no, 100%. Let's take a couple more questions and get out of here. I know it's a little short, but I sadly have to be out of here before 3.
All the way down at the bottom, Dan, click Silverlight's comment all the way at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
That sounds crazy.
Is it
thoughts on Dan's take? I know Dan watches this too. I hope he.
Hold on. I just don't want to lose my place of where I am. So let me see the timestamp real quick.
3:45.
144 for me. Okay. What's the timestamp on it?
145. Silverlight 16 says thoughts on Dan's. So first of all, I know Dan watches a lot of these. Dan, if you watch this, dude, reach out and let me know what you mean. I didn't see this video, but thoughts on Dan's take regarding MSRP for Prismatic in 2027 seems way off base. That's where we're taking out that year demand set value. I don't see it getting that low. Dude, you just heard our take like earlier in the stream. If you go back, I think my take is it's going to perform a lot like 151 and likely going to be $100 or more in a bundle by then. I don't know where Dan's coming up with that. I'd like to hear his explanation for it though. So maybe I'll go try to find that video. That seems strange to me.
Interesting.
Maybe he can explain in the comment section if he sees this.
Do you think Ascended Heroes will be more sought after than Prismatic? I mean, we already answered this question. I think no. I think Prismatic will be more sought after.
Dude, here's the thing. There's been lots of God packs. I mean, 151 had demigod packs, right? Black and White had God packs. Like this is gonna have a God pack, but a God pack with the most expensive card in the entire era and filled with one of the most popular group of Pokemon, the Evolutions in the entire Pokemon hobby, all in one pack. That's a little different than just a God pack. It's a higher, it's a higher tier, I would say. So no, I think it's gonna be more Prismatic.
Can I crack open my piggy bank soon and get some mystery packs? They're coming, man. I've teased them a couple of times for the wholesale program. They're coming, so we'll get them here soon. So we just had some other stuff happen at the shop that kind of took priority, sadly. What's your opinion on the original Sword and Shield Black ETB Plus, first ever PC ETB, and no one ever talks about it? Do y'all think it will ever hold a premium being the first ever like Plasma Storm ETB? I don't know why it says Sword and Shield Black ETB because it's I assume they're talking about Chilling Rain, right?
Mm.
He says ETB Plus also.
Maybe. I don't.
Oh, the Black ETB. Oh, they're talking about the Zamazenta Zacian.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, those were cool. Man,
yeah.
I don't think so because the reason why I say that is as someone who held on to some of them, I sat there for 3 years and watched them literally go up like $10. So I see them in the same retrospect as Hidden Fates. I could be wrong. Like time will change, but Hidden Fates was a set that it just didn't go up. And I think part and parcel, it's the packs. Like they're not like super heavy on the alternate arts. It's the Vivid Voltage, the Darkness Ablaze, the base set. Like it's not one of those sets where it's like not only is there a cool premium to it because it's a cool first ever, but it's also like, because you could make the same argument like this is the first ever full art set we ever got of shinies for Hidden Fates. It was the first of, right? I mean, you might not say it's the first of a specific product type, which probably is the argument he's more making. So, I mean, that would be it. But realistically, I don't know. It just hasn't performed that well.
I think I don't know. I think they might like perform with like the average market. I think they're going to underperform the good items. I think they'll probably perform the same or maybe a little better from like the weaker items. I don't think it's like a massive play everyone's missing or anything like that though. But it's definitely something that I think is unique, and I think will probably be sought after by ETV collectors. So I think there'll be a market for it. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, dude. It did run from like the 70s to like I think like 140s. So it did double in the last year, and the sales volume it's decent. I mean, it sells a few ETBs a week. I mean, it's not a terrible product. I don't think it's.
But I never said it was bad. I just don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like saying, "Oh, Hidden Fates." Yeah, Hidden Fates did good. But if you look at what you could have invested in around that time, it was horrible comparatively. I view that in the same regard.
Yeah. I think they'll probably perform like mid market.
You know what is an investment I do want to look at because I want to fact check myself here. Do you remember the Arceus figure collection boxes?
Oh yeah, with the Cosmic?
Yeah, that was one I was super high on for the longest time. I wonder what that's at now.
Well, the Cosmic pack's probably carrying it.
Oh yeah, big time. That was part and parcel why I liked it so much.
Yeah.
Well, because the reason why I was a huge fan of it is they had the how am I forgetting? Galar Friends collection box.
Yeah, I mean, it went from 45 up to 115. I mean, yeah, so it's like
oh my gosh.
It's almost tripled.
Dude, Galar Friends collection box is going for 240. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Is it just me, or did we get very few good like collection box type products with good promos?
Oh no, they literally just copy and pasted promos from
Awful.
Japan. And because the Arceus promo was supposed to be a movie promo.
What other ones were there besides the Greninja Kingdra from Shroud of Fable? Am I
None.
missing?
No, none. I mean, they were the Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon were all supposed to be a part of EV Heroes for Japan, and they made them into promos for us.
And so that's
English has always done promos poorly. That's the one thing that's been a bummer. Every time you do get a good English promo, it's super exciting. That's why like the Galar one was super well done because it had its own unique promo.
well, that's kind of my point is like I think when people look back at old collection boxes, I think they're getting the wrong idea when they people invest in collection boxes in the Scarlet Violet era is there's no good promos that are gonna propel those boxes. You're just buying the packs basically. Whereas a lot of the collection boxes you go back and look at from Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, XY, a lot of the reasons those did well, it's the packs grew, but also the promos inside did very well as also. So it's without exclusive awesome promos, I think it's gonna be a lot harder for the newer collection boxes.
Yeah.
It's basically like buying the loose packs.
Let's do one more question real quick because I got to get out of here.
My bad. They're right. The Victini promo from Black and White, that was a good box too.
One more question. Get out of here. Call it good. Let's see if I can find one.
Jelly Pete, my bad, man. The Victini is definitely a good promo. That's going to be a good box along with the Shrouded Fable ones.
Let me see if there's one good question I like. All right, we'll take this as the last one. Is it possible AH isn't as high yet because people are concerned that the hit rates will be as bad as Prismatic again and possibly waiting to see what rates will be? No. I don't think that has to do with it.
I haven't heard anyone talk about that, but I don't know.
Yeah. People don't pay attention to hit rates as much as people think. That's how it's always been.
Dude, there's so many different segments in this hobby. You listen to some of these YouTube videos or go in some of these comment sections, Discord groups, Reddit forums, and you would think everybody hates Prismatic. Well, then why is it the most open set on everybody's stream?
Yeah, 100%.
It
has literally nothing to do with it. I mean, yeah. Hit rates don't play a factor because if you look at some of sets throughout Pokemon's history that have performed extremely strong, that have some of the worst hit rates, but it's because most of the time people don't pay attention to that stuff. I mean, I am a huge hater of Burning Shadows. I've been a huge hater of Burning Shadows since out the gate because of how horrible the pull rates are. And as someone who opened a ton of Burning Shadows, I wanted to kill myself. And it's so funny because, Pat is doing his whole Sunday Burning Shadows day. And it was so funny when he started that. I was like, you're cooked, bro. Because I knew how bad it was going to be. And it's it's not great. But at the end of the day, Burning Shadows is still performed extremely well. So, but we got to wrap up here though, because I got to get out of here. I want to thank you all so much though for stopping by. Anything you want to say before we tell people to head on out here, Alex? Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe.
Nah, man, we left the bear market in 2025. 2026 is it's going hard.
Dude, it's here, baby. All right, folks, have a good one. We will see you all next Monday. Peace.